This right here gonna be a cakewalk.
So you know how in these videos I like to explain what's going on in terms of Tekken, whether it be news, whether it be new information, tweets from Harada, or just random discussion ideas. I usually am the one explaining. However, this time around for this video, I will be asking the questions and I want you guys to do the explaining, because when I look at these statistics, when I look at these stats, it just doesn't make sense to me. 6 hours ago at the time of recording, we're on the Tekken subreddit. It says a brief look at the Tekken 8 metagame July 2024 edition. I made a video like a week and a half ago where I talked about how some characters at the start were very popular or was winning a lot, but then now you fast forward 6 months later and the statistics look a little bit different. I went in that direction, talked about those things, but in this video, what I want to talk about is more so the balancing update that happened. When we scroll down to, so the most popular character, we already looked at that, you know, King and Jin are number one. Actually, King now has surpassed Jin, making King the most popular character. That has not happened before, and that's actually like a pretty amazing thing. Kazuya has came up a lot. He's now right behind Jin Kazama. Before, Harong was third, and I think Reina was fourth or fifth or something, but now Kazuya is top 3. So there are some characters who still rising, still changing. It's really incredible to see. But the part that I want to focus on is right here. The win statistics. We all know random mains are absolute trash at the game. This has to be like some kind of groundbreaking achievement for the random players. The fact that her win rates is so low, with the character also being so powerful, a lot of people would consider this character top 10 most powerful character in the game. So the fact that people are doing this work with her is crazy. Now, right next to her, you have Kazuya Mishima. This is where I ask you guys the question. So before this update 5.0, where they added in all of these defensive features, you guys swore up and down that Kazuya Mishima sucked and he needed buffs. Buff Kazuya, we all seen the tweet that Michael Murray made. It was this whole thing that happened. Now, in the 5.0 update, he got buffed. He got buffed, and there was two type of players that then emerged. There's the people who was like, yes, Kazuya is now fixed. He's saved. And then they went into ranked and they started gaming. But then on the other side of the coin, there was people who was like, no, Kazuya did not need those buffs, and now he's too powerful, or now, you know, he's ruined, or whatever the case may be. The question that I ask is, for the people who said that Kazuya is now buffed and he's saved, and thank you developers, why are you guys not able to win with this character? He got buffed, you celebrated, but then you went into ranked and continued to get bodied? I could be missing something. I just spam Flash with Yoshimitsu. So I need you to explain to me why Kazuya is not winning more matches after he just got buffed. Now, for the other side of the people who are saying he didn't need those buffs, maybe he did. Looking at his win rates, this character's getting absolutely bodied. But also, too, what you got to take into consideration, if you look a little bit more to the left, you can see Azuzina, Lily, King, Jin. King and Jin are some of the most powerful characters in the game, also a part of the top 10 discussion. So maybe these statistics is not an accurate representation of what goes on in the Tekken world at large. We see these pro players talk about the balancing, best characters in the game, Yoshimitsu, Jin, blah 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 blah. We see these characters dominate top 8 in tournaments. We see all of it. But then when it comes to us playing and not watching, we cannot replicate the amount of skill that is outputted. You take some of the most powerful, deadliest characters in the whole game and give it to the average Tekken fan, they will lose the majority of their matches. And me, I always say that no matter how much you balance a character, the players will not win more. Like, take me for example. The worst things about my gameplay is that I suck at breaking throws, and my punishment game isn't as sharp as it should be. And also, I could be very predictable at times, and with Yoshimitsu, that's a death sentence. So that's not really something that balancing can fix. And when I interact with a lot of people online and live streams, it seems like people have the same type of flaws in their gameplay as well. They know how to play the game, they know how to do combos, but when it comes to that punishing, moving, throw breaking, defending against these more cheesy elements of Tekken, it seems like most players just cannot do it. And in my opinion, I don't think messing around with the balancing is a way to circumvent that. I think seeing Jin, King, Kazuya, Azuzina, Reina be so low in terms of win rates, it shows that you can't simply fix a character by buffing them. Even though that's what like the majority of the player base says, like, oh, I lost this match because of balancing, or I lost this match because the other character is this. In reality, what I realized for me, in reality, I'm just trash. I'm just trash when it comes to that. Well, see, here's the thing about me. I have reached Tekken Emperor, which is really, really high, but I can't move on beyond that. So yes, I am technically better than the majority of players who ever will touch this game, but when you start talking about that top level of players, I'm completely clueless in the matchup. And balancing isn't going to help me or assist me. I don't know, when I look at these stats, I just wonder, should the developers continue to buff and nerf characters based on what the player base is saying? So far, it doesn't look like it's affecting like the win rates at all. It doesn't look like it's helping players at all. But if they don't do that, what's the other path? What's plan B? What is something that the developers can do to help all of the Reinas, the Kazuyas, the Jins, the Kings to perform better? Here's an idea, right? So the developers for Tekken 8, they simplified the game a lot. And what I think is pretty interesting, a lot of people who are upset about that simplification and they talk about how Tekken 8 is ruined, it's easy, blah, 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 blah. The people who say that stuff are the same people who are benefiting from the game being made easier. All of the Kazuya mains like 2 years ago or a year ago who are saying, lol, they made Kazuya electrics easier, he sucks now, are the same people who are able to do an electric because it's easier. It's such an interesting idea, like the discussion that happens online, but then when you look at the stats, you just get such a different take on reality. And I don't know how the developers can assist the players more than they are in terms of making characters easy, in terms of making the game easier, in terms of making some characters, mostly the popular characters, really, really strong. Jin, Kazuya, King. It seems like everything that they do, the player base just cannot fully comprehend it, utilize it, and make the best of it. So when I just looked at these stats and I just wanted to ask you guys what's happening. Oh, what is this graph? Win rates over time? Oh, this is win rates over time. So Kazuya was winning a lot, losing a lot, winning a lot, and then losing again. The top comment says, we did see AK win Combo Breaker earlier this year, so maybe we'll see somebody win a major tournament. Mogold won ATL's tournament with Claudio. Yeah, let's look at Claudio. Wow, Claudio is way up there. Number 3. Okay, look, here's the thing about Claudio. In Tekken 7, Claudio was the most deadliest character in the game when you exclude all of the pay-to-win DLC. In Tekken 7, he is maintaining that same level of power. I've been saying over and over that Claudio is a true monster, and the people who disagree, I just think you haven't fought enough Claudios. The fact that Claudio comes right behind both of the Bears, who we all know gets a free pass, no one knows the matchup, it speaks to how much of a sleeping giant this character is. We put a lot of attention on characters like Yoshi, Victor, Jin, whoever, and I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I'm just saying there's a lot of characters who go under the radar because of it.
You really like say this too hard. Nigga, put your big boy pants on, go out there and go fight. Like, what are you talking about?